going to call our meeting to order. We're going to say the Pledge of Allegiance, and Alderman Betts is going to lead us in a word of prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray. Again, Father in heaven, thank you for this day. Thank you for you loving us and you blessing us the way that you do. Again, Lord, as we come to our second meeting where we discuss projects, I pray, Lord, that you give us wisdom. Help us, Lord, to make wise decisions with the gift that you've given us. For we pray this in Jesus' name.
Amen. All right. I'm going to ask our clerk, Ms. Wilson, to give us a roll call.
Town of Vidalia Board of Aldermen roll call for the special meeting of the Mayor and Board of Aldermen dated August 20th, 2026. Alderman Betts.
Present.
Alderman Gardner.
Here.
Alderman McCoy.
Present.
Alderman Probst.
Here.
Alderman Smith.
Here.
Mayor Quorum is present.
Okay. Last Tuesday, we had item number one was board discussion on proposed project for the use of surplus hydroelectric royalties. That was just the board with their ideas, and they've all spoke Tuesday. And all we're doing, again, as I said before, we're just accumulating a list. Nothing's going to be decided tonight. We're just going to put everybody's request down, and then we'll take those and deliberate those probably next month sometime at a special meeting. And everybody can, show back up and have input on, their request and see how they went. So that being said, is the board got anything before I move on to item 2 and go into public hearing?
Only thing I say is I did have a citizen who reached out to me. He actually texted me a request. If you don't mind, I'll read what he sent because he worked out of town, offshore, but he's a citizen of Vidalia. So if you'll let me read, and I'll actually tell you what his name is at the end of it as well. Are you okay with that, man?
Yeah, go ahead.
It says,
I do need his name though.
Reginald Smith. Alderman Robert Gardner in the town of Vidalia. I think we need to look at adding more play equipment for the younger children at the Vidalia Junior High. Since the playground currently has mostly swings, we also need to address keeping the grass and ground maintained, especially since Mr. Charlie Ferguson passed. The area behind the lower elementary playground needs attention as well. I also think having a public swimming pool would be a great addition for the children and our families in the community. I appreciate talking to you and listening to my concerns. Thank you for caring about our children and our community, Mr. Reginald Smith, citizen of District Number 1, Vidalia. And the only reason he sent that to me because he works offshore.
So pool, playgrounds, maintenance, and
He said,
Vidalia Junior High.
correct.
Playground. Junior.
And he said he would be watching this meeting tonight.
Okay. All right. Then we appreciate him submitting that. Okay. All right. Item number 2, we need to have a board vote to enter into public hearing to receive public input concerning possible alternative uses of surplus hydroelectric royalties. Can I hear a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion made by Alderman Gardner. Here a second.
Second.
Second by Alderman Smith. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. We're now in the public hearing. As we did Tuesday, I'm going to start over on this side, and anybody will start at the front row. If anybody has a request, we'll add them.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
Okay. My name is Linda Bell, and Vidalia is my hometown. I reside in Alexandria, and I'm coming to you asking or talking about Memorial Day equipment, stop signs, and the marker. I am a member of the Memorial Day Committee, myself, along with my sisters and a couple of other people. A couple of years ago, maybe 3-4 years ago, Alderman Gardner purchased drums, 2,500 used drums. Every year, we have to ask Vidalia High School, Faraday High School, Woodville High School, could we use their drums? Most of the kids have their own instruments, but drums are the ones that we need. We are responsible for those drums when the kids practice, We are responsible for replacing drum heads. If a drum get damaged by one of the kids, we are responsible for it. So yes, Alderman Gardner spent $2,500. They were used drums. I'm asking for, I watched the meeting on Tuesday where Ms. Webster asked for 25. I'm asking between $3,000 and $3,500. Because every year we have to go out and ask the schools. We also asked one year about Beauregard. We have to buy straps. We have to buy drumsticks. Like I said, the heads of the drums, if they get busted by the kids, we are responsible for it. Okay, I'm done with that one. I know you said something about stop signs, Mr. Kraft. Updating the stop signs. On those stop signs, you have Laura, you have Walnut, you have Magnolia, you have Spruce. They're dead-end streets. So my suggestion for dead-end streets in District 2, those streets I just named, that a sign be put on these stop signs that you are planning or thinking about getting, no outlet, because you have some people that don't want anybody to turn around in their driveway. I'm one of them, not here, but where I stay. Don't turn around in my driveway, period. So that's my suggestion for the stop signs, no outlets. Now, as far as the marker day, I know you're waiting on information from where they start, which is the Lady Relief Corps, which I heard Ms. Logan say. And you're waiting on something from them. You want to make sure that the plaque marker be placed in a place where people will see it. Not in District 1. Actually, the Memorial Day parade first started on a ferry over the levee until the town flooded. They moved that house to Magnolia Street. So once you get that information and the permission to put that marker there, that's where it should go. I know the redistricting took a lot of people out of District 2. Where I thought was going to be a good place is where the parade is coming up Magnolia Street and they make the turn going toward the courthouse. That little medium would have been fine, but no, that's in District 1. We don't want it in District 1. No offense, Mr. McCoy.
None taken.
Thank you. Okay, so that marker, and I know you want it so people could see it. You have a marker right there at the courthouse. Not you, but there's a marker there. American Revolution or whatever. How many people you think gonna stop or when they drive in coming off the bridge, gonna see that marker? You really can't hardly read it. I just stopped by to take a picture of it. So my suggestion is when you get that permission or where the marker should be, it should be at the Lady Relief Corps. People will see it. The people that are involved, people that walk up and down that street. So that's where it should be. And like I said, it would have been there, or it could have been where I was suggesting it would be with the redistricting of the maps. So that took a lot of people out of District 2, gave each one of you guys a district, 5 districts. I don't know how many districts you had before. Where I'm from, they got 5 districts. And then they have 2 at large. So that's my suggestion, is for the marker, for the stop signs, and I'm asking for $3,000 to $3,500 to purchase drums, straps, heads for the drums, so we won't have to come and ask Vidalia High School, Faraday High School, or Woodville High School. for drums. We have our own stuff, and this happens every year. Yeah, we get donations, but those donations come from something else. I have come out of my pocket to buy sticks, straps, anything that those kids needed. And like I said, some bring their own instruments, but we're concerned about the drums. And that's all. That's my presentation.
Thank you. All right, going on back, brother. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm here representing the rec board for Jordan Farmer. He's out coaching football for his kid, which is more important. And we're just going to lay out everything tonight, what we would like to see happen. One of the main things is behind the fields behind the lower elementary. Ever since we moved about 15 years ago up here to the complex, those fields have not gotten the maintenance and the general upkeep they need to stay up to date. So we're trying along with the town to bring them back to where they used to be, and a fun and recreational hub for all ages. We're going to put up, the rec board is going to put up a marker to name it the George Murray Complex and dedicate it in loving memory of Clayton Watts. But we're not going to put the signs up until the park is up to the standards it needs to be, like it used to be. We're working with the city now to get it going and revive some of the history of the ballparks up there. I'm going to turn it over to Joni right here. She's got something to say too.
I just want y'all to know I'm not a member of the rec board, but I try to attend all the meetings and support them as best as I can. Mike and I try to work together to get things done. And I presented some things at the last meeting that I asked them to come and talk to y'all about asking funds for. And this is the Concordia Vidalia Recreation District 3.
Yes.
Mike is the rec director for that district. A lot of y'all may not know, but they operate annually on a budget of about $400,000, and that covers the entire Vidalia Rec District. That's not just this complex. And almost half of that goes to the note that they're paying on this complex. So they have about $250,000 left to run the year on, not just for this, but for everything in the rec district. They're very limited. I have worked as well as them with the police jury on trying to, make some changes on that, and hopefully that will eventually work out. But there are some things that need to be done. And one of the things that I asked the rec board to come to y'all for at this new complex was a PA system for the girls and boys side. Right now, we're operating with a speaker that the Dixie Youth League purchased that we have to hang out the side steps. Other than that, there is no speaker system that was put in when that complex was built.
There's no speaker system there?
No.
There was no speaker system when we started. We had to buy the speaker system and put everything in there. Now, what has happened since we started is Bluetooth, wireless speakers, wireless microphones. That's what we're trying to do, is update all the fields, so every field will have a crisp, rich sound off the PA system. And all these kids who get out there, because our PA system's not up to date, a lot of these kids go out there and play, and grandma and grandpa are there, and they want to hear the kid announced. And Joe Smith's the next batter. We want to get back to being able to do that. And we just want to upgrade all the equipment, because with the wires, you put the speakers outside, the wires would get bent by the building it was leaning up against, and it just wore everything out. And we're to the point where we'd like to do that. And
that's for both sides. The girls' side doesn't have it and the boys' side doesn't have it. And there's 4 windows, for each part. So that's 8 total. 8 total fields that would need that. And we have a quote in there for that. And the other thing that, the last thing I'm going to talk about is the bleachers. The Vidalia High boys field has a new set of bleachers that apparently was purchased when the park was built. These other 3 fields have bleachers that apparently came from the old ballpark that they picked up and moved. So I asked them to consider purchasing basically an identical set like the Vidalia High boys bleachers because they're accessible. They have handrails for people to get up in them. These other ones are this tall for people to step up in. And there's a little quote in there for that too. That's all that I have. It's mainly for the new complex.
Yes. Yes, and also we're talking about, right here. We need new batting cage nets. All these nets up here, we replaced the high school last year. All the rest of them are at least 15 years old. We're trying to replace them and put some new L screens in both of them. And the bleachers she covered. And also, we're having problems again finding a place to play youth football. So as a possible solution, there's the soccer fields. Y'all know where the soccer fields are out there? Putting the fence all the way down and putting a gate in it. And maybe put the youth football field on there. And that's what we're talking about.
Is that going to interfere with the soccer people? Or not? I don't know.
We're going to have to share it is what we're going to have to do if it comes to that. But that's what the fencing is for.
Well, let me ask you a question, Mike.
Yeah.
Just for curiosity. Is the high school not allowing y'all to use it, or is y'all don't want to use it because of the condition?
They've had problems the last 2 years, as you know.
Yeah, I know.
And they got problems this year, but they're working on getting it so we can play. And they want us to play. So all we can do is wait.
Well, I want to see the kids in Vidalia. I mean,
And I want to see them up there too. I mean, that's where I started at.
Saturdays, I used to go by that high school Saturdays, and it was cars all the way out to the highway. Most people, those kids playing football. You know, younger kids, 5 years old on up. And
Yeah, Coach Fairclough years ago, he was all behind helping me get it all going. And, at the end of the season, the first season we ever did it, 22 years ago, I came to Coach Fairclough and gave him a check for $1,000. And he didn't want to take it. I said, Coach, y'all have helped us out by using y'all's field. I want to help you out. And we gave him a check, and we've done it ever since we've been on. But like I say, the last 2 or 3 years, we just haven't been able to get on there. And hopefully this year we'll stop all that. We can get on there.
Let me,
Yes.
has Vidalia Junior High School, is that in the equation?
Yeah, I don't know if they can play up at the high school this year. They don't know yet.
No, I'm saying there's a
Just using the
baseball
field?
there's a softball field,
Yeah, the softball and baseball fields, we talked about using them for practice.
I
Going
understand
forward,
that.
yeah.
Is that in your proposal too? Has that
No,
been
that's not in
considered?
there, no. I mean, that's just we just use that for practice in the past. I wish they had a football field over there we could use, but they just don't.
Well, the football team finds a practice field over there.
Yeah, they got a practice field, but, for
have y'all given any consideration talking to the school board about, going into a CEA and using that elementary school field and putting bleachers and maybe, that field is not that bad a shape. I think it's got some low spots in it, but it looked like to me that would be a good place to consider. I'm not saying do it. That it's surely big enough, parking across the street at the parks.
Yeah.
And if we're going to be upgrading that area anyway, maybe upgrading some of the parking and stuff in there, making that another field
Well, that's a good suggestion.
just for, them to line off and manicure. Again, I don't know anything about the drainage of it.
Yeah.
But it used to be a baseball field. I mean, it ought to be in pretty good shape. But it's got ample space there to put a football field with bleachers. And there's already some lights there. It might not take a whole lot to move
To
them
get the
around
lights to
even.
go,
Just a thought.
Yeah, we'll look at it and put it into a proposal and go to a.
And again, I'm not
go to
speaking for the
board.
school board. But,
Oh, I know, go to a school board meeting, I agree.
yeah, but it's just a thought.
And I agree with what Brent said, Brent said the other night. The core of your community is sports. You got education and everything, but if you have good sports team and you support them, it just makes your community strong.
I agree.
And we're missing that right now, and hopefully we can get it all back. I love the new football coach. He's a great guy. Reminds me a lot of Coach Fairclough. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Got you on the list. Okay, who's next? Oh, here comes Dee Dee.
I'm so nervous.
What are you nervous about?
You know, I like dogs not as much about people. I am here today. I'm Dee Dee Roberts. Now y'all know me. Been with the city almost 25 years. Ran the dog pound for a while. We had it 8.5 years. Now the PD has it. And what we're here today for, me and the ladies, we would like to ask for money to start a spay-neuter program for Vidalia. And I'm going off of what they do in Natchez. Miss Jenna Holyoke is the person that runs that in Natchez. And I have a printout, and I'll give it to y'all when we get through, of kind of what they do and how that works. And we're looking for it and to call it Spay-Neuter Vidalia. Vidalia residents will start off just Vidalia. We'll take priority, and it'll take care of the citizens' pets. The way that works, we will have a contract with the local vets for a discounted price. The citizens will pay a discount, like a, say, $30 copay. You know, they'll have something to pay, and it's all, it kind of goes on. I'm not sure if it's based on income or whatever, but Vidalia would be the priority, and we'd like to take care of residents first and foremost. Jenna gets tons of calls from Concordia Parish because there's no spay neuter, and a lot are from Vidalia. And I don't know anybody who wouldn't want assistance getting their pets fixed when it's a couple $100 or $300. You know, depends on what all you get. But her, I think her copay, she said, was probably around $35. But anyway, it would take care of the Vidalia residents' pets, dogs and cats, the trap, neuter, release animals, to where you wouldn't have to fund that. You know, I think y'all were saying give a little bit for the ladies at the riverfront for the cats. I don't know if that came to fruition or not, but that would be, we would take those calls also and try to fund those people, and may even pay 100% of that. Vidalia Dog Pound, the dogs that are in there, if they need to get adopted, it's always an incentive if they're fixed. I know that from 8 years. Anyway, what we're wanting is to start this off, Spay Neuter Vidalia. It'll be a nonprofit. I've already got that started to get this going, and it's 100% volunteers. There's nobody paid. 100% of the money, aside from, say, some stamps and some paper, you know, for the vouchers. Aside from that, all of it goes to the animals. And I know, y'all know I'm passionate about the animals, but it's a problem that's not going away. It is not going away. We've had hoofbeats and paw prints in Natchez that transports. We've got Natchez Animal Shelter that's phenomenal. We've got Concordia Paws in Fairdy. We've got the Vidalia Pound that, you know, we ran for a while, and that's 4 places to take animals, and it never stops. It doesn't stop. It had me to where I was ready to leave, because I was like, the phone calls never stop, nothing, you know. And we're asking for money to get this started. And what our goal is to, Vidalia residents are top priority and always will be if it grows, which it will. I know this. I've prayed on it. And we want to eventually encompass the parish through grants. You can get so many grants, you know, with the nonprofit, and donations, possibly Fairdy, Monterey. We want to take care of Ridgecrest. That is the biggest problem in the entire parish, is Ridgecrest, Louisiana. Back when I was doing the pound, we had so many more dogs coming in than what I think the pound has now. And I found out a lot were from Ridgecrest. And they needed help. I'm not saying they shouldn't have been like dumped here. You know what I mean? Like somehow ended up here. But that is what we would like to do. Ridgecrest, eventually have it'll be the parish, but it's always going to be spay, neuter, Vidalia, and we take precedence over anybody else, any resident here, and we would know by utility bills, whatever. We'll find out. We will know if you live here in town and want to have that done. And but that's what we're asking for. Is there anything I'm leaving out?
The dollar amount?
The dollar amount, we'd like to ask for $25,000.
I have some numbers to put with that as well.
Come on.
Probably most of y'all sitting up there know who I am. I am also one of Vidalia's crazy cat ladies. I have 6 of my own. I just spent $1,200 this past month they all live inside. They don't roam. They don't get out. I just spent that amount of money just on their yearly physicals and on their shots. Every one of them has been spayed and neutered. That's a one-shot deal. Each spay and a neuter does not cost that much. A neuter costs right at $100 out of pocket. A spay is more than that. It's closer to $200.
And that's cats.
And that's for cats. Dogs are more expensive. I would like us to think in terms of some of our families in this town. I'm lucky. I can afford it. There are other families who have pets, who have much loved pets, who cannot. They cannot afford that amount of money for the health care for their animals. They love their animals just as much as I love mine. To have a spay and neuter program in the town would help those families take better care of their animals and would cut down on our unwanted animal population, because they do get out and we have kittens, lots of kittens, unfortunately. Also, if we can get money from the town to begin with, that opens up the possibility with us setting up as a nonprofit for grant money. But we cannot get grant money unless we've already got a program established. So we are asking for money to get this program going with a view on down the line to being able to be much more self-supported. We do fundraisers. I work at St. Mary's in Natchez. We do a fundraiser every fall for the animal charities over there. Every year we raise a minimum of $2,000 just in one afternoon, which we split among the animal rescues and charities in Natchez. So I'd like to ask y'all, knowing, this is an expense that families have. And I hate to think that a child who would want a pet can't have one because parents can't afford it. So let's see if we can use some of the money, the hydro money, to help our families who want pets to be able to take better care of them.
I want to say also, I know it's a crazy thought, but we're expanding our water plant and the town is awesome. I'm so proud to live here with everything that goes on. When corporations look to come here, you wouldn't think it, but having an animal control, unit, having our dog pound, and having something like this, it puts us in this century because, in the north, there's a lot that they have all this going on. I think it's been a long time coming, and I wouldn't be up here if I didn't think it was necessary or needed, because people come to me and come to me and come to me and come to me with this kind of stuff. And that's why I'm asking. So, I appreciate y'all, but I have a copy of what all Jenna has done in Natchez and how it kind of works. This is just their stuff, to kind of tell you what's going on. But I think it would be phenomenal, and it would help. The problem's not going away. And the cats, this would really help with the trap neuter release. We can get them fixed and they will stop multiplying. And there's I don't see anything else helping that. Okay. Anything else?
I mean, I'm available for any questions of how our program works.
That's
I do have some questions. Now, look, I'm not against this at all, but I do see some problems. Number one, privately owned cats, the town just voluntarily paying, that almost violates ethics, because
You're not paying it. This 501c3
I know
is
it,
going to pay it.
but I still, just like when we give any money to anybody, they have to count how they spend it. You see what I'm saying? I mean, we have to account
Right,
how
and
that
you
money
will
was spent,
get,
and we get receipts for it to make sure they were spent for what they were for.
you
I
have
just-
my word, you will have every receipt there
And
is.
I'm just bringing
I
these
know.
things up, because the other thing I don't want to do is, this is Vidalia Hydro royalties, and it needs to be for Vidalia residents. I'm sorry, but if we go out and we start doing cats and Faraday cats in Monterey, even though
No,
we'd
that
love to
was
do
my
that.
whole point of saying, you guys would be getting this started, this money, and would be the priority. And that's down the road. It's going to take 2 years, 2 years.
See a difference in time. I mean.
But is this something that's going to be an annual thing, each year, or is this going to be something y'all going to get donations?
No, we're asking for a
If this is just seed
startup.
money, or is it going to be an annual thing, annual ask?
Seed money, and we might come back and ask for a little bit next year. And
And again, I just want to get those questions out.
Right.
Look, we're going to have a meeting to talk about these things,
I got
but
you.
I'm just telling you some of the things just off the top of my head. I'm all for it. And actually, we have that in place now, but it's dealing with feral cats, not people's private animals. Because honestly, I know I got one alderman sitting up here that don't like cats because he has an issue with people just getting them and letting them run around, and they're free roaming and they cause problems. And
I'll probably get in trouble for this. My opinion on cats is exactly the same. They need to be inside. I'm just saying. My parents have them. I had one my whole life. They stay inside. There are too many things on the outside that can get them. People have catios now that you can, like, little screen room, add on a window or your patio, so they can go outside, but I don't think it's safe. You don't know when a stray dog or someone else's dog is going to come. I feel like they belong. I'm an expert on the ordinances, and our ordinances say cats are identical with dogs. You have a leash law, they stay in your yard, or they stay, to me, in the house. I'm just,
And if
and
they
I'm
don't-
gonna have
and
some
if they
cat
don't-
people say,
and if they don't-
what'd you say? But that's really, I feel that way.
Because I know my boat under my carport right now, that's a cat I'm smelling when I walk out of my driveway.
Well, it's like, if you don't want dogs coming and, pooping in your yard or tearing up stuff, as a resident, you shouldn't have to put up with a cat if you don't want it there.
Right.
And a lot of people, it doesn't bother them, but for the ones it does, it's your rights.
Right. It's not fair. I'm just trying to be fair to everybody, because everywhere we have somebody who loves cats, and look, we've either had a cat either at my mother's house or my son had one all the time. The only cat, the probably story heard about that I tried to kill for a long time was killed my son's cat, tore him to pieces. That's one cat I didn't like. But the rest of them, we've had pets. I love animals. We got a dog. We got everything. But there's somebody next door to me that might not can stand them. They have rights too.
That's what I'm
And
agreeing
I
with
think we
you.
need to be, conscious of these people who are having to deal with it.
This
and
is
come
a
up with a good resolution
win-win.
for it.
You just reiterated my whole thing. Yay.
All right, I'm gonna ask everybody to come back. Okay, come on.
I just want to share this real quick.
I'm no longer a Vidalian, but I am a child of Vidalia, and I'm still a Viking. Go Vikings. Okay. So last week, I spent all week in Houston. My husband had to go to MD Anderson, and we were there all week. We didn't take a car with us because we used the new flight service from Natchez, and we flew in. So we did a lot of walking. Nowhere in Houston did I see the first cat or the first dog. Saw lots of lizards. No cats, no dogs. So I looked up their bylaws, their animal laws. First and foremost, they have a shelter that also adopts out. Secondly, they said the most important thing was their spay-neuter program because it keeps the animals from reproducing so they're not out on the street. That's what we're trying to do, cats and dogs. This is not just about cats, okay? And then they used a transport place like what we have in Natchez, and they had a couple of rescues, which there's might be one or two around, I'm not sure, but we use rescues in this area for animals. And the other thing, which I thought y'all might want to put this on your list, was if a dog is found outside of your home and is causing any kind of ruckus, I guess you could say the same thing for a cat, I don't know, like tearing up somebody's garbage, tearing up somebody's yard, attacking their chickens or whatever, 3 times in 1 year, that dog is picked up and impounded. So like I said, out in Houston, it's a pretty big place, not one cat, not one dog, but they have excellent laws and excellent facilities taking place. That's all I want to say.
All right. Anybody else on that side of the room? Y'all on the list? Anybody on this side? Okay, we'll start over this side. Crystal, you're on the front row. You're up.
How are y'all?
Good.
Thank y'all for giving us the opportunity to even come here and speak to y'all. I did pass out just a kind of highlight of what I was needing to go over. My name is Crystal Rays. Me and my husband, Roy Rays, have started a nonprofit youth recreation corporation, I suppose, but I'm calling it organization. We're also registered with the IRS and the Secretary of State. And we started late summer with the process of doing that. And I guess I need to kind of explain why I am where I am. It was my understanding that, first of all, I have 2 sons, one that's 20 and he's played in the Vidalia League, from the time he was 4 to 6th grade. We now have a 9-year-old that's played in the Miss Lou Football League for the past 2 years. I was under the impression that because the owner of that private league was the rec board supervisor now, that he would not be able to run a private football league. So I was prepared not only for that reason, but also for the reason that the current or former league has not been up to par. And the past 2 years that we've played in that league have witnessed enough things that I was not going to allow my son to play in that league anymore. And my other question is, have any of y'all been to a Miss Lou Youth football game on a Saturday the past few years?
In the past few years? Several. Back
few
in the day.
few years, like the past 1 or 2 years, or when?
Not in the past few years.
Yeah. Okay.
Like last 3 or 4.
So I would advise you, if that league is gonna have a registration and games this year, that y'all go and see what any money from the town is going to, because it's not going to updated equipment. It's not going to any organization. It's just free reign, free run. It's complete, just insanity, really. I'm going to leave that at that. But so my other thing is, we have about expected 100 players that are to be registered. We have open registration in person again this Saturday in town. And we have students from Verdi, Vidalia, Monterey. We don't have any Natchez teams at the moment, but so we also have it open for cheerleader registration and have a lot of those registered already. That being said, our registration fee is $100, and we with the sponsorships that we have so far and the fees, we're about at a $2,500 deficit as far as equipment goes. All the equipment that we will buy this year is going to be brand new, up to regulation, and will be maintained upkept, and if new equipment is ordered the following years, we will do that. So we're asking for $2,500 to cover just equipment, just to keep us where
2,500?
2,500. Yes,
Is this her right here?
yes.
Mhm.
Cause it says
3,000, yeah.
Well,
That
we've
she
gotten
just
another
said that
sponsor.
they're
I
hard.
apologize. I just cut it down a little bit. We will definitely take 3,000 if that's the case.
Is that to recondition the helmets and? shoulder-
This equipment, we are a startup. So this is our first season for football. So everything will be bought new. Helmets and pads. Now, we cover the jerseys, the uniforms, and anything else that goes on, the insurance, paying officials for games and things like that. But the equipment is the main thing. We can't even play without the equipment. So where we're at, we're about $2,500 under. Now, we are still fundraising. I'm still, asking for sponsors from business owners or private sponsors. So I expect that we might get a little bit more, but being that this was the last meeting, I wanted to be able to come and talk to y'all and just get the chance to kind of give y'all the rundown. Now, we are playing at Delta Charter Field.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you about that. I do
want to tell you that they said they don't have your check from last year and they are trying to call you.
The only thing I could see maybe if the Alderman would have questions about is, with it being, located in DC, not Vidalia, the league.
Yes.
I don't know. That's,
Right.
That
I
might
understand
be
that.
just a consideration for them, just to
My
talk
point
about.
is we don't have another field to play in. I would be happy to play in Vidalia or even swap up games on different Saturdays and play, different schools. But being the current situation, there's not anywhere else to
Yeah,
play.
well, we'll certainly put you on the list, and I'll just ask you to show up when we do have the deliberation
Yes.
on,
Absolutely.
which ones they want to put on there.
Yep.
Anyway.
Thank y'all so much for your
Okay,
time.
Crystal, thank you so much. Okay, next row.
I'm Willie Dunbar, I'm president of the North Youth and River City Youth Center. And I'm a committee officer for the all. Wendell, secretary, treasurer of the Concord Youth and River City Community.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, good afternoon or good evening.
Good
I'm
evening.
Wendell Lelix with Concord Youth and Adult Community Association, a local nonprofit which supports after-school activities for our youth and adults. Our first request is for $355,000, and that's to renovate a building or facility located at the old water plant, Town of Vidalia. This site is Town of Vidalia site. It's adjacent to two portable buildings used for tutorial program and also a resource center used for community events. This $355,000 is to address structural, $50,000 for planning, engineering, update plans to be sent, reviewed and approved by the state fire marshal, $125,000 to address structural. That's the second floor foundation, one new doors, interior, exterior stairs. $20,000 to coat the roof, the existing roof on the facility. $85,000 to stucco the building front or the left, the right, and rear elevation. We will preserve the brick front elevation. And $75,000 to rough in electrical and plumbing. The building will serve for after-school activities for the tutorial program, community, and civic events. Also, it could be used as a backup emergency shelter for the Vidalia area.
Only question I have, when the money you're talking about I thought that's why we did the upgrades to the resource center that's down there, that was gonna be for the tutorial program. That's why we spent the money on it.
That's correct. But this third building, which is an eyesore blighted property, and I think years ago, the city attempted to actually remove that building and remove the concrete pad which housed the equipment for the water plant. That was unsuccessful. And being that this building is still there and been dormant for quite a while, I would think this would be a good use for it, and it would actually add to the tutorial program and after-school activities. The problem they had, like I said, they tried to jackhammer the concrete for those old cement pads that housed the equipment. That was unsuccessful. The plans now is to just turn this building into a second floor building only. The bottom floor, which would be used to house equipment, a raceway for the plumbing and the electrical systems. And therefore, we wouldn't have to deal with trying to remove these concrete pads, which was they tried several attempts to remove these concrete pads.
Couldn't do
Could not do.
Question for you, would the building also have like a kitchen area in it?
The resource center has a kitchen area.
So that
So-
building would not have a kitchen area?
Yeah, so this building would be just a second floor, open area used for community civic organization, after-school activity, music program, arts, cultural, and also as a backup for emergency shelter.
The reason I ask that question is because I know often when families have death and lose loved ones, we resort to using
Resource.
also the convention center.
Right.
It's a space that they designated in there also, and sometimes it's rented out and people can't use it, or the rec center is rented out. So, in my thought, that's why I asked kitchen, because I'm thinking, or warming area, if we would do this, where if somebody had death in the family, they could use this as a repast hall as well.
But we can address that with the interior renovation.
Who owns the building?
The building is owned by the city. This site is leased to Concord Youth and Adult Community Association. And this is the same site where we've got the two portable buildings for the after-school program and also the resource center adjacent to this building.
So the top part of it is gonna be more like office space.
Yeah, it's one open room.
How many
Yes,
square feet is that building?
that building is 40 by 40.
And the bottom will be like a pavilion if,
The bottom floor, the first floor, due to those concrete pads being, you will not remove those, trust me.
Is it big enough to, I mean, you're gonna have to put stairs in there if you can put.
That's correct, and that's why we addressed that with the structural
So-
and this,
And it will be like handicap accessible and all that.
that's correct. And that's why you see the first phase here, we're addressing the structural area, and we can move into the second phase, and this will help us minimize costs and actually project some adequate estimate and some cost-saving estimate when we do remove them to the interior.
I was just curious, 1,600 square feet, of course, that's an old building. For 355,000, looks like you could almost build something for
Well,
1,600 square feet, 355.
Yes and no. The location is
brand new.
ideal. Two, if you try to actually do demolition there, you're gonna have a big issue. Because like I said again here, when they tried to remove those concrete pads, they actually had a backhoe with the jackhammer attachment, and it was actually vibrating within a 2 or 3 block area. So I think
Yeah,
demolition
there's
is
a
gonna be.
substantial floor in it for sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
actually, that's the
old water plant, isn't it?
the initial water plant and all. And the part that he's talking about that they tried to jackhammer, it's about 3 feet.
Yeah,
About 3 feet tall and about the same width. And it was impossible. It was impossible. I was a part of that. Couldn't make that happen.
So,
and
as far as space and capacity, how many people would this building possibly hold?
that
And then you
second,
say shelter possibly as well. How many?
that second floor probably would be contained anywhere from about 30 to 45 people easily, very easily. and safely.
Bathrooms.
And that'll be included on the second floor.
It's gonna be pretty packed with
Bathroom,
30,
shower.
40 people with bathroom space and
Yes,
all that.
we had a set of plans did years ago, the first phase of it. So we pretty much done kind of went over things pretty thoroughly, and we'll be able to fit everything in there. And that's why your bottom floor with those pads in there, it will be utilized for your equipment and your storage and your equipment raceway for your electrical and your plumbing. So therefore, your second floor, you have nothing in your way.
Okay. All right, what else you got?
And the second proposal is a site located adjacent to the Vidalia Junior High School. And I know we have several requests for a football track field, where there's a 12-acre site that's already there and prepared. And that second request is for the fund to do the site improvements for a football and a track field adjacent to Vidalia Junior High School, which would alleviate your problems for practice field, problems for soccer fields also. And that
So-
request is for $30,000 for the engineering, $400,000 for your site work, and $20,000 to complete the existing pavilion already at the site. That site already has a walking trailer completely around the 12-acre site. Also, this practice field would serve the purpose of the junior high school also. And if we don't have a good feeder program, well, we don't have a good program at the high school.
I agree. Not that part. Not that part.
Okay.
That's back over
That it?
behind.
That's it.
That's
Okay.
behind.
And update the
School.
after-school tutorial program we've been working on. The buildings are ready. Start date, official start date, after Labor Day, we're giving the school time to get their people in place and make their first 6 weeks. Ms. Webster is also helping us select the staff, the 6 teachers and the 1 administrator. So we're looking at a start date after Labor Day.
All right, thank you very much. All right,
And I appreciate everybody in here, but I appreciate that program and all that y'all do to make it successful.
Thank you.
next, going further back, anybody else? Nobody else back? Y'all listening, huh? Best, everybody else? Okay. All right. Nobody else have anything? I'm gonna have to take a motion to adjourn, exit the public hearing. Hear a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Alderman Best, here a second.
I second.
Second by Alderman McCoy. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we are out of the public hearing. Next thing we have is adjournment. Hear a motion to adjourn? Oh, wait, before we go, I'm sorry. We'll make a motion. I had a request from our IT director to finish the camera system within the town. Let me say something about the camera system. I've heard some of the comments or saw comments on Facebook about, it's too much control. Nobody is monitoring these cameras, watching anybody. Let me just say that. These cameras are strictly for enforcement in case there's an issue or problem. Let's say we had some burglaries in an area. Those cameras aren't accessed or used until there's something that somebody had a problem with. We go back and try to use it to solve any kind of problem with crime, burglaries. A lot of times we might even catch, our cameras have saved us from lawsuits actually that we have in separate. People try to say something happened. Well, when did it happen? We go back and look, it didn't happen. So, it's really a tool. It's not used to spy on anybody, but we have cameras put in place throughout town that help, solve crimes and issues somebody might have. Mr. King's here with the police department. He's one of our investigators. Have they helped y'all a lot, Sam, in some of the areas? The cameras, as far as identifying people who might be in the area if you had a problem?
Yes, that was prepared notification to us and all.
There's also a license plate reader that when you come off the bridge or going or leaving, that monitors that. And if there's somebody on there that's got either, if there's somebody they're looking for and that vehicle or that tag's in the system, it's going to ding and it's going to go to a network and that's going to be reported where these people are. And it's also helped, I think, in a lot of communities when you have the code blue or code red. When you get the yellow amber alerts, help find children who've been kidnapped or abducted. Those things help in that. So he's asking to complete that to try to finish up covering the Vidalia. Also our playground, to finish up cameras there. And so anyway, he wanted to add that to the list, and so I'm putting him on the list. And I have the request on my desk, and I'll have the amount when we go over it. So,
I think I personally tell people all the time that we have a dynamic camera system, and I know I appreciate it, and I do know that crimes have been solved based off that camera system, so that it's accurately true. And I know that for other towns that may be next door to us, like they got particular issues right now where they have people missing. If these other towns, our neighboring towns, would have some of these similar camera systems, I don't think those cases would be going on. Council needs to speak, Mayor.
Maybe to your point, there was a murder a few years ago, Tiberiusville, in the city of Vidalia. Without those cameras, we would not have been as successful in prosecution of the person who committed that crime.
wow,
The point is well taken and it's active, very active.
very good. Good deal. I just wanted to put that because I saw where somebody said, oh, we're just trying to watch everybody. I think, again, nobody is watching these cameras. I mean, unless there's a problem, they're never looked at, unless there's a problem. All right, now I'll take that motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Alderman McCoy, second by Alderman Smith. All in favor, say aye. We stand adjourned. Thank you all for coming.